Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So the assignment that I started working on after I finished the oil pastel landscape was this assignment where it was just like a self-portrait, or I guess it could have been a portrait of anybody, but most people did self-portraits, so it was a self-portrait of yourself obviously, but I guess the catch was that it was on like the background was cracked paint. And yeah, I didn't record the process of doing that, but it was honestly kind of weird because you had to like lay something down first, like a coat of something, to make sure that when you painted it again, like it would crack the paint somehow. I'm not really honestly sure how it worked. I had no idea. But anyways, after you get that first layer done, you move on to sketching your portrait, obviously, which is what you do for, I guess, anything. Honestly, I feel like most drawings you do should have a sketch. But anyways, you move on to that, and as you can see, I'm not doing anything in this clip because I started drawing with a regular pencil, but I really quickly realized that was not going to show up on the cracked paint because it was like a darker pink color, so it was not showing up very well. So I went to go and get a white pencil because that helped it show up a lot better. And yeah, I don't know what I was doing there, but yeah, anyways, the white pencil helped it show up a lot better, and I just started to sketch out, like, how about, I guess my face. So yeah, the whole time I was sketching this, and honestly for this whole project, I just had a picture of myself in front of me that I would be staring at the whole time, and it was honestly kind of awkward for anybody that walked by, because I was just looking at a picture of myself the whole time. And oftentimes I would have to, like I just did in that clip, I would have to bring it up to my face to make sure I was getting the proportions right. Because one thing about drawing is that sometimes you'll be drawing on a flat surface on the table, but you're looking at it like from the bottom of the page, so you're not really seeing it how you would see it if it was like right in front of you on an easel. And sometimes this is bad because that makes your proportions look off or just weird, so you have to kind of check every now and then just to make sure like that the angle is not making it look good, and that it actually does look good if you hold it up face to face. That's kind of something I struggled with on this project, at least while sketching it. But yeah, I honestly probably spent too much time sketching it out because, when you're doing acrylic paint, you just go over the sketch, and then you honestly, sometimes your acrylic paintings look so much different from the sketch than you ever could have imagined, and it's just kind of humbling. But anyways, trying to not go in too dark, but also knowing that it doesn't really matter because, again, it's oil paint. It was really interesting sketching with white colored pencil because obviously it's just not something you use very much, but I do think it's really cool. And I've always liked assignments where we drew on black paper, and I don't know, I just feel like it makes the colors show up differently than on white paper or paper of any color. Anyways, that's just interesting, I guess. So yeah, once I had a good foundation and good eyeline, I started sketching in my features and just like kind of using basic shapes to sketch them in, like half circles for the eyes. I don't try to go too detailed quite yet. And then just really trying to make sure I get my features right so I have a good foundation to go off of when I do start painting. Even though, again, you do cover it all up, it still is very helpful to know exactly where you want the features to be placed. Here I am drawing the mouth, which honestly gave me so much trouble during this project. Definitely the mouth and the nose, I think, were my least favorite parts of drawing a self-portrait, because it could just be so hard to get right because, well, first of all, the nose is mostly made of shadows, and then, I don't know, mouths are just hard for me. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, because noses are mostly made of shadows, it's honestly hard to draw them. And paint them, honestly, because you have to think about so many values that go into like the form your nose makes, because like it obviously protrudes from your face, so it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's it's just something you need to keep in mind, I guess, if you ever plan to draw a nose in the future. I don't know how many people are artists watching, probably none. But yeah, I had to erase the mouth, I did, and go back in and retry it, and you know what? My chin looks really big from this angle here now that I'm looking at it, but that's okay, because I don't think it looked like that in the final product. But anyways, go back in, I try to fix up the mouth, not really happening, but that's okay. So then I move on up to the eyes in this clip, and I just draw in the iris and the pupil after I clean up that sketch. Yeah, I think eyes are also really hard to get right, but I also like drawing eyes, so it's not as hard to me as noses or mouths. But yeah, I was just mostly sketching here, trying to get a good foundation down, and again, holding it up to my face every now and then to make sure I know what I'm doing. Yeah, sketching out my hair, which honestly is probably the least of my concerns in this drawing, just because I like drawing hair, so I wasn't really too concerned with that. But one thing you want to keep in mind with hair is that you really have to know the form of your head, like, and make sure that your hair, like it follows the line of your scalp. You have to make sure it doesn't, like, I don't know, like, go flat somewhere where your scalp would be there. So that's important to keep in mind. And yeah, obviously you don't want to add in too many details during this stage because they're going to get covered up later, so there's no really point. So yeah, for the rest of that day, I just kind of cleaned up the sketch a little bit and made sure it was all ready to start painting. And yeah, that's about it. And then I believe the next day I was able to move on to painting, which I will probably show you here in a second. So this is what it looked like by the end of that first day of sketching, and then the next day I moved into just getting down the basic like skin color. That's what I tend to draw for, that's what I tend to color in first, so that's what I went first. And here I am mixing the paint for a very long time because it was very difficult to get my exact skin color right. But yeah, I don't know why this clip was playing for so long. But anyways, if you can actually see there, I color swatched my hand. Like like you were testing foundation or something. Like I put it on my hand to see if it matched the skin tone, and that's how I knew if the skin tone was right or not. And eventually I did find one that worked. But yeah, today I only just, that day I only just colored in like where my skin color would be and put in very basic, very light shadows. So not too much that you're missing out on. I had to cut out a clip because my hand was placed really weird in front of the camera and it was kind of awful. But yeah, I was trying to avoid like coloring the mouth or the nose yet because I was nervous, but I guess never mind. I covered up the nose. But yeah. Anyways, that's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.